Right after the president takes office, Nunes comes out and gives that presser and says, I've seen information about spying on campaigns and spying on people not related to Russia. Was he talking about unmaskings and requests by Samantha Power, whose aide is in on this meeting with the fake whistleblower in Ukraine? Jeez. In other places, we'd call this a story. So Devin Nunes was on Maria Bartiromo's excellent Sunday Morning Futures show. It's on, I believe, 10 o'clock on Sunday on the Fox News channel. It's a can't miss. It really, Maria Bartiromo's show is fantastic. Hat tip to her. She's been all over Spygate. And I have to tell you, she's one of a genuine news reporter, unlike most of the people out there, who has been all over Spygate from the start. And I have to tell you, she doesn't get as many accolades as others, and I can't figure out why. Her show is a can't miss. Well, she had Devin Nunes on this weekend. And Nunes, who we all know is just terrific, especially on Spygate. The nation owes him a debt of gratitude. Came on and had a really revealing little bit here about what I told you last week, how these people all know each other involved in the Spygate scandal, the Muellergate scandal, and these same people involved in the Mueller Spygate scandal were involved in the fake whistleblower scandal. They all know each other and they all have something to hide. So listen to this little nugget from Nunes and pay particular attention to how he ends his bite. This is important. Check this out.
It's not going to end. They've been doing it since the president was first elected. Just like Senator Scott just said, all the major newspapers in this country, the legacy media owned by the billionaires, they've all been calling for it. So this has been a work in progress, and they imploded with the Russia investigation in a big way because it was a complete hoax. And then they manufactured this new Ukrainian hoax, which, we're starting to get to the bottom of this hoax. And I think as soon as the whistleblower actually gets called, or the supposed whistleblower gets called before the Senate and conducts an interview, you'll be able to fit the pieces in between the Democrats in the House and their staff who met with the whistleblower and this scam that the ICIG is under, who refuses to provide the evidence for his outlandish claims that you didn't need to have firsthand information, you only had to have secondhand information, and that somehow miraculously the form was changed, and then none of those stories actually make any sense. And when you put all that together, I think you're going to find a fake impeachment hoax.
I love this guy. You know, when you were on the road and you were a kid, you saw the truck driver and they toot the horn. Whenever I see Nunes, if I see Nunes, toot your horn, Nunes. I love this guy. Again, what we covered last week and the week before, this intricate web of people who all, what have I been saying for 2 years? Remember the names, right? The best advice I ever got as a federal agent working complicated cases is memorize in your head the names of the players involved. Because when you hear them creep up on wiretaps, when you see their names appear on financial transactions, if you don't have them memorized, you're not going to know how the pieces fit together. If you've memorized the names, what Nunes is saying is all of these people are connected in the same scheme. So he's coming away with two things on this. They're covering something up. These are repeated attacks on the president, repeated hoaxes, and that somehow the fake whistleblower is involved. Well, let's go through a quick breakdown of what he's talking about. So the whistleblower scam, the fake whistleblower scam. Remember, the fake whistleblower reports to the ICIG, the Intelligence Community Inspector General. I have evidence of Trump and a quid pro quo, yada, yada, yada. I heard the call, or someone told me about the call. All nonsense, all garbage, all made up. The whistleblower scam, I thought of a way to, I took a little note here. I thought of a way to describe the fake whistleblower scam in terms of Spygate and others. The fake whistleblower scam, for you baseball fans out there, what does this mean? Was the relief pitcher scam. Bring in the righty, Joe. Or if it's a lefty, bring in the left. That's what the bullpen coach does, or the manager. When a manager comes out in a baseball game, right? You baseball fans know it, and they want to make a pitching change. You see them come out. If you're not baseball fans, now you know what I'm talking about. And they look to the bullpen, they go, the righty, bring in the righty. This is the whistleblower. This is the bullpen scam, Joe. The whistleblower scam was sitting in the bullpen, waiting to be called out by the manager. As my mother in New York calls it, the manager. The manager came out of the bullpen, and they brought in the bullpen scam. Who is the manager? Obviously, the manager of this has been Adam Schiff and the Democrats in Congress who've been committed to making up scandal upon scandal against Donald Trump to get him out of office. Let's go to Judicial Watch. We had Tom Fitton on the interview show a few weeks ago. He's just spectacular. Him and his group at judicialwatch.org do great work. This is from November 2019. Thank you to Paula for, of course, we have to censor on YouTube the fake whistleblower. Still to this day, can't understand why everybody in the known universe knows exactly who he is. But Judicial Watch, November of 2019. White House visitor logs detail meetings of YouTube censored the fake whistleblower. So Judicial Watch, in a nutshell, got the visitor logs from the White House and some very suspicious patterns of meetings. Remember, these people all know each other. Some very suspicious patterns of meetings creeped up with the Obama White House and very specific people. So let's go to takeaway number one. Remember, this is the fake whistleblower who came out of the bullpen with the Ukrainian fake quid pro quo allegations after Spygate and Muellergate collapsed. Now, why would he do that? What was the fake whistleblower hiding? Well, let's look at the Judicial Watch logs from the White House, who the fake whistleblower in the Obama White House was meeting with at the Obama White House. Check this out, screenshot number one from the Judicial Watch piece, which will be in my show notes, Bongino.com/newsletter, if you'd like the show notes emailed to you. The White House visitor logs revealed the following individuals met with the fake whistleblower while he was detailed to the Obama White House. Whoa! First, we have this Daria Kaliniuk, co-founder and executive director of the George Soros-funded ANTAC, Anti-Corruption Action Center. She visited on December of 2015. Crazy, because you know what's really weird about that? Weird. And by I mean weird, I mean not weird, is that the Obama administration appears to be meeting with the founder of this anti-corruption group, founded by Soros, liberal mega donor, in Ukraine, that allegedly appears on a do not prosecute list or statement from our diplomats in the Ukraine demanding that this anti-corruption group funded by Soros not be prosecuted or investigated for alleged malfeasance. That's kind of weird. Also, we have Gina Lentina, senior program at Freedom House. She was the Eurasia program coordinator at the George Soros-funded Open Society Foundation. Gosh, she's in the White House on March of 2016. A few months afterwards. Whew. Man, this is really odd. Yeah. We also have this Rachel Goldbrenner, now an NYU law professor visiting the White House, who at the time was an advisor to the then ambassador to the United Nations, Samantha Power. She visits on January 2016 and August of 2016 with the fake whistleblower at the White House. Now, Samantha Power, an aide to Samantha Power, is in these meetings with the fake whistleblower and the Obama White House, and people from Ukraine that are Ukrainian diplomats overseas don't want prosecuted, and they don't want them prosecuted, and they have ties to George Soros as well, these groups, a liberal mega donor. You know, Joe, in some limited circles, we'd call that a media story, but not in this media environment where journalists have a hard time doing actual journalism. But isn't it odd that this Rachel Goldbrenner is in these meetings, and she worked for Samantha Power? Samantha Power. Gosh, remember the name. Where you? How does that relate to Spygate?
Yeah,
you said
Sam.
Samantha Power. Yes. Where's that come? Oh, yes. Oh. Samantha Power. Yeah, whose name appears on hundreds of unmasking requests in the Obama administration.
Yes.
Yeah. Gosh, isn't that strange? And Samantha Power, who later on says, hey, I didn't know anything about this effort to basically wiretap people. Essentially, that's what unmasking is. It's when you're listening in and getting transcripts of phone calls between people you don't have a warrant on. And when you deem that person in the United States to be of interest, you unmask, pull the mask off what their names are. You're essentially wiretapping them. But Samantha Power, whose name appears on those requests to essentially wiretap people, Samantha Power's name appeared, and she says, oh, I didn't know anything about that. Remember the wiretaps that appeared in the Spygate thing? The unmasking requests that were the precursor to the FISA warrants? To Spygate, to spy on people for the liberals. I know they have a tough time with this. To spy on the Trump team and campaigns. Remember Devin Nunes' statement? Oh boy, Nunes translator in full force now. Remember Nunes' statement back in March of 2016, right after the president takes office, 2017, right after the president takes office, Nunes comes out and gives that presser and says, I've seen information about spying on campaigns and spying on people not related to Russia. Was he talking about unmaskings and requests by Samantha Power, whose aide is in on this meeting with the fake whistleblower in Ukraine? Jeez. In other places, we'd call this a story.
You just heard The Dan Bongino Show.
You can also get Dan's podcasts on iTunes or SoundCloud and follow Dan on Twitter 24/7 at @DBongino.